Good evening, folks. This is Devin Dave, and this is your Factivist Report, and we are talking about something exceptionally important tonight. You folks need to pay attention here. We have two special elections in Florida to fill seats that were pilfered by Donald Trump for his cabinet, the Florida 1st and the Florida 6th. And we have two really good candidates, and these two seats would take the House back. So what are you doing? Talking about removing Chuck Schumer when you should be pushing everyone in Florida to get out and vote. The Democrats are making significant investments in this, and we need to do our part. It's coming up on April 1st. Here's Dave.
Before you say anything about what are the Democrats doing, well, in Florida, they've stepped up. We've had our criticisms of Florida that they didn't spend enough for Charlie Crist when he ran against DeSantis. They are spending triple the amount that the Republicans are. Okay, and that is including, but not limited to, the Republicans getting money from crypto companies, which is like, I don't know, about 1.5 million. So I understand that money isn't votes. I get that. But to anyone in Florida in those districts, you need to vote and push this forward. Now,
Look, we know for sure, that Charlie Crist lost because of potentially low voter turnout. The Democrats, in 2022, in the midterms, the Democrats were literally non-existent in the voting booth in Florida. That cannot continue, folks. Okay, that is your power. All right, you are failing to exercise your democratic right to vote and select people to run this government. And when you don't vote, you are literally giving the election to the other side. That cannot continue in the Democratic Party. It's a disgrace.
and here are the running themes here. The Republicans are spending tons of money through big business. We're getting a lot of grassroots money, which almost always means good things. Now, they may not necessarily win. However, you have to understand that if we push this from like a 24-point race to a 2-point race, these guys are going to pay attention. I'm not saying, don't worry about it. We absolutely want these seats. We do.
We
Uh,
do. It changes the balance of power in the big House of Representatives, folks, which helps the Democrats stymie Donald Trump in place. We don't have to wait to 2026. We can do something about this right now.
Now, are these two candidates? One is a teacher, and one is a an advocate for gun rights. We're talking about Florida, okay? It's very difficult for a Democrat to get elected in Florida lately. Anyway, you have to start somewhere. So here's where we're gonna go from here. Let's see here. Da-da-da. Come on, share screen.
I did my part. I've said this before.
Don't don't.
I'm not. I didn't say ABBA.
Crypto pack spent like, I believe it's about 2 million in Florida. Okay. If you've been listening to Trump and to Musk, they're they're heavily invested in crypto.
That's actually Donald Trump's latest scam, his latest grift. By the way, his crypto coin is tanking big time.
I heard. And as a matter of fact, the person we did the short take on, he's upset with him about tanking tanking crypto because he has crypto. But
But
so there you
let me
go.
just say this about crypto. We have a new, I don't know how to say this. wealth partner on the political block now. Okay, this is not a good thing in general.
No. So if you notice, Trump's hair is unusually coiffed, but it's in the shape of Florida. Pro Crypto PAC spends $1.5 million on two Florida special elections. There are going to be another APAC, basically, but with their own special whatever,
with
their
their
own
own
special
with their own
interests.
special needs, their own special
Right.
wants from politicians.
Now, Gabe Alamont's on the left, Josh Weil is on the right, and they have raised significant amounts of money. Florida listened. They're invested. They're invested in these two. And I understand both of these districts are red, but you move forward.
And
On,
you never not challenge. Never. Not now. Not now. No sacred cows now.
Valamont draws attention and donations, but Petronas still has advantage. Now they keep on saying, well, he's in a red district. They won 67 to 33, I think it is. The last time, blah 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 blah. This is a completely different animal. Let's see how we can move this forward. If, let's see if we can do it. So Jimmy Petronas has an advantage. So Gabe Alamont, she is a gun rights and women's rights activist. Jimmy Petronas, okay, that's 2.1 as opposed to 6 million with Gabe Alamont, by the way. Jimmy Petronas.
Oh, why am I not surprised? The party of family values finds yet another gem.
Now, it's not him. It's not him. He was protecting someone.
Oh, okay.
But still, I'm just saying, uh, after a round of bar hopping last year in Fort Lauderdale, a male employee with the Florida Office of Financial Regulations drunkenly grabbed the breast of a female coworker, which prompted a sexual harassment claim. Now, uh, Petronas claimed that she couldn't establish a claim of sexual harassment because apparently the groping wasn't serious enough.
See, this is what I mean. What is it with the local Florida Republican politicians? You will remember that this is also Matt Gates's territory, is it
Right.
not? She ran against Matt Gates.
So
What
here you go. The official statement. The department said it didn't condone Falk's actions, so they admit he did something. This guy Falk. Uh, but they did not rise to the level where the woman accused him can legally claim sexual harassment.
Okay, I guess you
So
have
he
to
was
grab
wrong,
both
but he
breasts
wasn't
and
wrong enough.
maybe you have to grab both breasts and a crotch. I don't know. But we also have a president in office right now who bragged about doing that too and who actually is a sexual abuser. Why am I not surprised by any of this?
Right. Now, the full report, the Gates is right here. More, debauchery, sexual, blah, 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 whatever. My point being that just because Gates is gone doesn't mean that misogyny or sexual harassment has left Florida by any stretch of the imagination.
Later
It
on in the
wasn't
week,
like he was
later
the
on in the week,
pro.
we're gonna release his Botox report later in the week. Look at that
I
face.
think he's I think he's becoming an evil elf.
Look at the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Botox. Have a nice day.
He's going to be in charge of defunding the North Pole and Santa. I just so whatever. So
But this look is apparently a thing for the Republicans because I don't know if you noticed Mike Johnson's new look. He's looking like that. No kidding.
so Gabe Alamont, Post $6.5 million in fundraising. Listen, that is a good thing because it's showing that people are at least interested and into it. I didn't get into, how much of this is in-state fundraising as opposed to out of state. I'm surprised no one mentioned it, but they didn't. This is Gabe Element, uh, mother, gun violence prevention activist in Pensacola, Florida, devoted her life to public safety, earned a bachelor's degree in health and exercise science from Georgia Southern University, master's in education from Troy State University, before pursuing her career in sports medicine in Atlanta. Now, uh, didn't hear anything about transgenders in sports, did you?
No,
Because it's not an issue. Although, by the way, supposedly the orange jackass is threatening Maine and threatening to take away their funding over transgender athletes.
right. And what Maine said was, see you in court. That's what the governor of Maine said.
And what Trump said, I demand an apology. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, good luck.
Randy Fine demands authorities arrest opponent Josh Weil. And do you know why? Apparently, listen, when you have a campaign, you grab volunteers wherever you can grab them. Okay, that goes for both Democrats and Republicans. All right. Apparently, someone was handing out flyers, and in the middle of handing out flyers, she stole a bicycle. Now, they have uh, distanced themselves from her, obviously, when something like that happens. Randy Fine is making accusations that this woman is also, a hardened felon and blah, 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 blah.
Can I just say something?
Yeah,
When I was a kid, right, I had friends that stole bikes. Nobody went to jail, okay? The local beat cop used to come and take the bike back, and the kid used to get taken down to the police station and scared, they'd scare him,
right, right.
okay? And that was it. They'd go back home to their parents. Enough. This is ridiculous. We're talking about a political party full of criminals, sexual abusers, and lying sacks of shit. And I am so tired of all of this nonsense.
I'm getting it, Dan. I'm getting to what he did. Wait a minute. I don't know. Judge holds Randy Fine in contempt of court. Why? That was an
Oh,
official. That was an official Zoom meeting. Okay, and they were gonna like fine. I don't remember what the punishment was. He has tried to get this judge taken off of this case like 3 times.
so
Instead of just saying,
why was he taking the anger management to begin with? What was the issue?
because of this, and apparently, I don't know what else he did, but this kind of thing.
So
I'm
much,
like,
just the kind of person you want to put in office. God almighty.
look, if he wanted me, ask what giving him the middle finger would have looked like. I could have shown him.
I
Fine
could,
said about the ruling.
I'm good with that.
So, so, you have a guy demanding that Josh Weil be thrown in jail. By the way, Josh Weil, I'll put his campaign thing in here too. He is an educator. Actually, he's an educator. Hold on. He does have that East Meadow, New York look, honestly. But let's see. Okay. Now, immigration is always going to be an issue in Florida, so I'm okay with that. Fix the healthcare system, improve our schools, working class, protect our environment.
I don't think there's any issue or any um, belief that the immigration system needs to be fixed. This is just not the way we're fixing it.
Right,
What Donald Trump is doing. We had
right.
an opportunity, by the way, to make strides to fix that immigration system, and Donald Trump killed that bill. I will never forget to remind people about how that went down the tubes. Okay.
Yep.
That was a bipartisan bill written by the second most conservative senator in the Senate at the time. They were all set to go, and Donald Trump made phone calls. And that's how that bill was killed, because he did not want Joe Biden to fix the immigration system. Okay?
So every single one of these issues, including immigration, okay, you do it the right way. You don't do it in this way. Um, the healthcare system, absolutely. Improving our schools, I don't know. You're not going to get rid of the Department of Education. Reset the economy for the workers, get rid of Doge, and get rid of Elon Musk. See that he did this campaign website prior to um, the Trumpocalypse. So,
Right. Protect our environment, get rid of Lee Zeldin.
right. So, let's see here. Here, come on. Uh,
You can do it. You can do it.
oh, for God's sake. Anyway, so that article is an Associated Press article. We have upcoming elections in May and June. Okay. All right, hold on. I'm just going to do it this way. Shut up. Let me see. Yeah, forget that.
Where are the May and June elections?
There are some mayoral. There we go.
Right.
Maybe.
That's the thing. That's the is that the list of 2025?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep, that's it. All right. So April, you have the two House seats. Wisconsin general elections for a seat on the state Supreme Court, which Musk has shown a ridiculous amount of uh, interest in, and state superintendent of public institution. So
By the
May,
way, Elon Musk is pulling the same stuff that he pulled during the national election in November, where he's paying voters $100 in
right?
Wisconsin. Okay, that stuff. Let me just say
That's
that
electioneering.
that's
That's
a,
bribery.
but it goes deeper than that. Any person in this nation who would sell out their fellow man and democracy for $100 while this
Right.
scum-sucking pig is grifting off the backs of the American taxpayers for billions of dollars to build cars that don't drive right and rockets that explode in space ought to be ashamed of themselves. People who would take that $100 and do that, in my opinion, they're the scum of the earth, and there's just absolutely no argument against that.
May 20th, Pennsylvania holds primary elections for the state Supreme Court, Superior Court, Pittsburgh's mayor's race, municipal contests in Philly. June 10th, New Jersey holds its primary elections for gubernatorial and legislative races. On Tuesday, Governor Bill Murray signed a bill moving the state's primary from June 3rd to June 10th in light of the Jewish holiday of Shavuot. I believe I pronounced it right.
That's
I
right.
apologize if I didn't. Which coincided with the scheduled election date. And there are a couple others. June 17th, primaries for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, state attorney general, and House of Delegates. June 24th, New York has primaries in its mayoral race, which I'm following closely. Don't just think that Cuomo's a shoo-in. November 4th, general elections held in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia contests that had the primaries. That's what's going on. Now, I want to present to you something, and I'm going to tell you ahead of time that it's from a rag. But people are starting to listen to stuff like this. I'm not telling you don't listen to polls completely. However,
Consider the source.
consider the source. I told Deb I was going to show this at the end. Never seen anything like this. Crucial voter groups fleeing Democrats, says stunned former Clinton pollster. Now, I don't know what happened with this individual, but he's on Fox News every single other day.
Money's what happened, okay? Money's what
Mark Penn,
who's
okay?
this? Yeah, okay. Money is what happened, okay? That's all you need to do is wave money in front of some of these guys. That's all you need.
Now, when I say consider the source, would you ever listen to the Heritage Foundation?
The people right
And
now who are making your lives a living hell, by the way, okay?
right
The foundation, by the way, whose lead architect of Project 2025, what's his first name? Paul
Paul
Dan,
Dance.
says what's going on in America is beyond his wildest dream. Okay? He's ecstatic over what the pain that's being caused to people here. Those are the people that are telling you this. Okay? You want to believe them? Believe them at your own peril. Okay?
Now, okay, here is part of the propaganda. You have a former Clinton advisor, okay, getting paid, whatever. He can't believe people are fleeing in droves. Right now, there was pushback from Schumer. All right. The claim is that people are actually unregistering in droves and the approval rate is from 47 to 27.
You know
Now
what?
look,
Let me just say
for,
this.
yeah, go ahead.
Number one, I don't believe that. But if that's what's happening, then certainly,
Shame on you.
yeah, I mean, are you looking at what's happening here? Because everything that's happening here is exactly what everybody was telling you was going to happen if you elected Donald Trump or if you didn't bother to vote. So if that's the direction you're headed in, then you are effectively installing fascism for a very long time in the United States. And I actually don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear you whining. I don't want to hear you sniveling. I don't want to hear you proudly proclaiming that you're not going to ever vote again because you are responsible for what's going to happen here. What is happening here is happening because there was indeed a landslide in November of 2024, and the landslide was in the did not vote category. It wasn't
Right.
Trump and it wasn't Harris. It was in did not vote. 90 million Americans did not bother. So just be wary of this. If you're
So
going to do this
yeah,
over one instance,
yeah.
you're the problem. You are the problem.
Now the claim is that the Democratic Party's favorability rating, which by the way can vary wildly, um, plummeted to 29% according to a CNN poll conducted from March 6th to March 9th. I don't remember when the budget vote was or the cloture vote,
It was around there.
but yeah, it was around there. During an appearance on Hannity, Penn said he was shocked, blah, 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 blah. Penn also uh, attributed the drop not to the budget vote, by the way, but to um, progressives like AOC and
I doubt it.
I doubt it too,
They had
and Bernie.
34,000 people in Denver the other day. I doubt
Right.
that very much. No, nope. And by the way, let me also say this. I don't trust CNN anymore either. The legacy media is dead in America.
Right.
None of these people ever tell you where they got these numbers or how they got these numbers.
Right.
None of them. And as far as the legacy media is concerned, they long ago capitulated to Donald Trump. We know this. Just as it appears now that big legal firms are going to bend the knee to Trump as well. Okay? So, folks, let me just say this. You are the power. Voting is your superpower. You're either going to pick up the mantle here and get this done, or you're just going to slide us into fascism for a very long period of time. Understand that. And there will be no one who escapes the pain, regardless of whether they voted or didn't vote, whether they voted Republican or Democrat. Everybody here will pay the price. You will pay the price. Your children will pay the price. Your grandchildren will pay the price. It'll be a very long siege. So good luck with that.
Now I'm going to say one thing. You want to stop all this and create, create some buzz the other way. Let's support these two candidates. Listen, we've supported them a lot. It's getting to a point where the early voting is starting.
I
You
believe
want
it
to support.
started the 20, I believe it started yesterday.
Now, I spoke with Deb. There are still phone banks out there. Help them out. Okay. We have a call to action. There should be the phone banking and all that information should be in there. Okay. As I see more stuff, we will do it that. There's nothing that will shut up the legacy media more than winning one or both of these elections.
By the way, the call to action page, action is called Action for Democracy. It's on Facebook. I will
Yep.
put the link in there. I will also put the link in uh, directly to the groups that are doing the phone banking. There's actually some phone banking going on from Massachusetts for these candidates.
Okay.
So I will put those links directly in.
And as things, I may not be able to phone bank myself because I'd be working, but as these things happen, I will put in phone banking as well, or at least let Deb know or ask her, hey, are these dates in? And then we'll go from there. These candidates are a start. It's a way to tell the GOP we're done. Okay. And the honest and real part of this is the Republicans and maybe even the Democrats will listen if they lose, but lose close. But only we will only listen to a win. Or the we being the public. The public won't care that they lost by 500 votes. They'll be like, well, they lost.
Right.
I know how these guys are, but it does send a message to the Republican Party to, hey, we're done with this crap, with your nonsense. Randy Fine, and by the way, we're not in an official meeting, Randy Fine, so yeah, I can do it.
Yeah,
But
Randy.
yeah, But here's the thing. He was doing it in an official meeting with rules and laws. So he broke the rules, he broke the laws, and then turned around and tried to. He wants Josh Weil arrested for someone that was volunteering for him, by the way, not working for him, volunteering for him. Okay, and Jimmy Petronas protecting a scumbag who grabbed a coworker, groped the coworker. Is like, oh well, no, he didn't grope her seriously enough, and it's not about whether it was wrong. It was whether or not it's legally actionable. That's another bullshit thing. So if you guys are tired of this, look, there are Democrats out there that aren't great actors either, but most of this comes from the Republican Party. If you're tired of hearing about it, vote them out.
Stop putting these idiots in office. I mean, are you looking at this country at all? I mean, I don't know what you're looking at when you talk about leaving the party in droves. Where are you going to go? Home to sit on the sofa? Give me a break, okay?
I honestly think that was a snapshot in time that the Daily Caller tried to take advantage of. That no, we're not. They were upset with Senate leadership, and let's talk about that for 1 second, Deb, about the budget vote, because you guys think you're in pain now. Imagine what would have happened if the government was shut down and Trump and Musk did nothing to put it back up.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really believe the Republicans would have reopened the government. I don't. I don't. They're in the mode of defying the courts now. Who's going to force them to reopen the government? They would have left the government closed and finished the job here without any interference whatsoever. I don't know why people think that this was a good idea in the middle of a fascist takeover, was just to shut the government down and leave the party in power in control of opening it back up. I don't get it.
And
There is none.
in terms of the federal employees, you understand that many, if not most, of those federal employees are being rehired. You wouldn't be able to do that if the government was shut down. And by the way, I'm not talking about the Postal Service either. The Postal Service is its own bucket of shit. Okay, because they're federal when the government wants them to be, and not federal when they don't. So they're a completely different thing. But federal employees, people working for the USAID, or people working for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or people working for this one or that one or the other thing, where it's such a mess right now because he's just been bombing in terms of firing people. We're gonna figure it. Yeah, we're gonna track everything and see how many people still don't have their jobs. I
Look,
think mostly it is those temporary or probationary workers.
100,000 workers have been let go.
Right,
100,000 workers. Let me
right,
explain something to you. During a government shutdown, each individual agency has to come to the table with a plan that includes essential workers during a government
right,
shutdown.
right.
Who do you think approves the plan on a department by department basis? The
I
head of
know.
the Office of Management and Budget,
Russell
okay?
Vogt.
Russell Vogt, who is from the Heritage Foundation. What would have stopped Russell Vogt from saying that Social Security shouldn't reopen? Are you folks really fucking aware? I mean, who would stop them? That would end up in court, of course.
It's
That
actually the
takes
ball
time.
game. It's the ball game
It's the
right
ball
there.
game. And by the way, all of the essential workers, they're human beings that you would put back in jobs where they would get no paycheck. There's people hurting all across this nation. It may not be you right now, but your day is coming. I promise you.
And by the way, the Department of Veterans Affairs. All right, all you veterans that voted for the Orange Jackass, just remember this, okay? Just please, and I'm not doing the FAFO thing. Just understand he doesn't have your interests at heart. Please.
Immigrants, Latinos, Black people, veterans, LGBTQ people, women. He doesn't give a shit about you. And he also does not give a shit about you if you have an R next to your name or a D next to your name. When you hurt in this country, we're all going to hurt. All right? The Democrats conduct business for everybody in America. Donald Trump harms people all across the board. It is not going to be just Democrats who lose their Social Security. It will be everybody's grandmother and grandfather. Wake up. That's all I'm going to say.
April 1. By the way,
Let's make the joke on the Republicans that day. It's April
right.
Fool's Day.
Now I know that True Social, Donald Trump is saying let April 2nd be a day of messaging and blah. I don't remember what the hell he's going to do. It's a day that we're going to remember in history. I think he's doing that because he thinks he's going to win both seats, but we'll see.
And it may not be. He may have something entirely different up his sleeve. We have
Right.
no idea what this crackhead's going to do because he
And
is mentally unfit for office.
and if you're in those two districts and vote for those two candidates and they get in, it will make his job that much more difficult. And maybe he'll keep Stefanik in her seat. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
that's another special election that's pending, by the way.
By the way, they're not even taking her out of her seat yet because they're afraid.
Right.
So if they weren't afraid, if the Democrats were leaving in droves, as the Daily Caller is suggesting, why would they be afraid? Why wouldn't they just appoint her and be done with it? I'm
They
just
haven't even confirmed her for her position yet in the cabinet. They
and
haven't.
turns around and uh or criticizes or accuses um Kathy Hochul of being duplicitous and slow walking the election. How can you slow walk the election when she hasn't even left yet?
Can't do that.
Okay, cut it out.
She has to leave, actually. She has to be confirmed that she has to resign the position.
Right.
Okay? She has to resign her position in the Congress before a special election can be set. So
And Rubio just did.
yeah,
Rubio just did.
he just resigned his seat now. Just right now.
Right.
So all right,
I,
gang.
yeah. And by the way, before anybody mentions the Department of Labor Secretary, she had lost or she had lost in November. So there is no special election there. Even Deb and I had to look at it. Somebody asked me about it too. So that one, no, there's a Democrat in there already. So.
Okay, gang. Later on.